Hansworm Hat. I'm just gonna read this one article and just make some comments. It's just a topic that won't die. Obviously, this is gonna be a year-long psyop, probably longer than this. And yeah, let's read this, and I have some things to say. Oregonians will be required. Required by whom? How are they gonna enforce any of this garbage? And that's what a lot of this video is about. These things get enforced because people buy into the system. People believe so much in the Babylonian system, and that's the only reason that any of this stuff works. The only reason that you can walk to a store and hand somebody a piece of paper with some FTM on it and get goods in exchange for that is because people believe in the system. The only reason that you see a million people with face masks on is because they believe in the system. They believe everything that their authority figures tell them. Or they're playing along. And I guess that's the division. That's the real division. Are you a play alonger or are you duped? Okay, Oregonians will be required to wear masks statewide, not just in select counties, starting Wednesday. They're in front of a blackboard. Blackboard is 33 in Pythagorean. And look, like they're a teacher or something. You're not my teacher. And Kate Brown is very popular in the transvestigation community, as you can see, and smiling. There's no deadly pandemic going on. There aren't people dying. Look at this person smiling. Do you know why they're smiling? They are just the power that they feel. You think that this demon wears a mask when it's walking around? No way. Just look at the smile. It's demonic. And it's from the power that this person gets, that they can just say whatever they want. They just feel so powerful knowing that they're going to make a bunch of people do something as ridiculous as wear a mask all the time. Going to the grocery store. Imagine if we could write our own little captions to these images. A screenshot of demonic transformer Kate Brown cackling like a witch in front of a hippie translator. Just sick, right? And smiling. Clearly smiling. Excited. They get so excited. Somebody posted a video to vote of Melinda Gates and Bill Gates, equally as obvious transformers, talking about the virus, and they were just smiling, so happy. They get so excited about these things that are supposed to be tragic. It's one of the easiest ways to wake up to this. If people's families are really dying left and right, you wouldn't be smiling like this. They're getting off on their power. It's a power trip. Governor Kate Brown announced Monday that she will require what authority do you have? What, you can just say something and now everybody has to listen to what you say? You're not my mom. You're not my teacher. And there was the way that Kate Brown did this, they just like to flex their power. I can do whatever I want and I think of it as these like whiny little kingdoms. America is like a group of 50 little kingdoms where there's these insane inverted kings, and they each get to make up their own. Think of that's why inverts love America so much. It is this like ordered chaos. Have you ever noticed how all the different states, they have all these strange different rules, and it's because these inverts, they get off on these power trips. They want to leave a mark, and that's why there's 50 different states in America, so that we can have 50 different shades of crazy going on, 50 different shades of Baphomet inversion, and each of them, they each want to get their own power trip and tell, okay, this county, you're open today. Okay, this county, you're open today. It's like they're casting spells. Okay, now I'm going to open up this county. Do you see how they get off on this power? Cause what? This is just some person spouting off things, and everybody's just supposed to listen to them just because they have a title. Well, I'm not your serf in your kingdom. I'm not under your rule. You can't just make up rules about how I'm supposed to live my life. Look at how condescending treating people. You know why they stuck this person in front of a blackboard? Because they're treating you like a child. I do not want to have to close down business again like other states are now doing, she said in a news release. If you want your local shops and restaurants to stay open, then wear a face covering when out in public. Are you threatening me? And I mean, thankfully, I am not a small business owner because they've been impacted really badly by this stuff. But seriously, are you threatening me? And what is it? Is it like Kate Brown is walking around and computing the percentage of people wearing face masks, and oh, not enough people did it, so now I'm gonna. It's just like they're gonna do whatever they want to do. So why do you have to threaten people? And it's because they're just evil. Strongly recommending that anyone over the age of 2 wear a mask. It's so ridiculous. They always leave you a way out. There is always a way out. Have you noticed that? That they always leave a way out because they themselves are going to take that avenue out. Oh, I have a medical exemption. And that is the one way out. But notice how they just brush that topic off here. This is the only mention of like the way out in this whole article. Some accommodations in accordance with disability laws will be allowed, but they didn't elaborate. Yeah, they're not going to elaborate on the way out. Blah, 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 blah. They love to say, well, look at these other states that are doing these things. You should feel glad that I didn't make you. And yeah, it's this USA, it's a strange thing that I don't think exists anywhere else quite the same. That there really is this inverted Baphomet power structure, and yeah, the little game that they can play. States love being like the first state to do something. Just imagine all these people scheming behind closed doors, and because that's what they do. They have nothing else to do. Orange 33. Oh, they spend time picking out another orange jacket to wear and working on some gematria, and that's how lame they are. Oh, I'm gonna one up that Washington governor, or you know, high school never ends for these people. High school is the pinnacle of their existence, so it's just they got to ride those glory days. They got to talk about the globe. More than 100 countries across the globe require masks. There's no such thing as a globe. Earth is flat and unmoving. Cases are rising in 32, going on 33 states Monday. According to the New York Times, in some states, including Oregon, that's not just because of increased testing. More people, prove it. That's all I'll say about that. For months, Brown has refrained from ordering Oregonians to cover their mouths and noses. When the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shifted course April, blah, 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 blah. What is this? Oh. Oh, look how nice I am. I don't know. To me, the whole thing just came off so condescending and like they're your mother. Oh, I was so nice to you. I declined in the past that you had to wear them, but you people weren't listening. And I guess so I'll stop here and say that yeah, I did notice that a lot of people just weren't wearing them, and I think it's because their magic only works for so long and it starts to run thin, and that's when they have to put more power into it. And so I don't know. Now it's just crazy. It's crazy out there. There's a lot of people. I guess I'll just stop here to talk about how there's those two things. Are they an actor? because some people it's like they're excited to wear their face mask and to play along with it. And I can just give an example where back in the day when I used to have Facebook, you remember when they first started doing those, running people over with a truck? The like new terrorism in Europe was like running people over with trucks. And yeah, I don't believe that people die in these psyops. And I just remember that I wasn't awake yet, but right when that stuff was going on, one of my friends, they went on a trip to Europe and they were going all over the place in like the Christmas markets and stuff. And my wife was like, "Oh man, aren't they scared?" And at the time I was like, "Oh, I don't know. They're rich people, so they go do whatever." But now I know. And I actually went to these people's wedding. They had a Masonic tile dance floor and of course they're inverts, gang sign throwers. But now I just know, they weren't afraid because they know all this stuff is psyops. They know it's all fake. So that's why they weren't afraid. They honestly, they took those psyops as an opportunity. Hey, we're going to go because nobody's going to be there. We're going to be able to go travel and there's not going to be lines. And so there's always the two sides. You have the people that they know it's a bunch of BS, but they're going to play along. But then you have all the asleep sheep. I do know people in real life that are really terrified of this stuff. And I mean, they're just like nervous wrecks. And it's weird because they throw like the triad claw. It's like some people, that's the extent of their knowledge of this stuff. It's like, they throw a hand sign. And it's like that's the extent of what they know about this stuff. They don't know that everything on the TV is fake. They think they're cool by throwing a hand sign. I don't try to spend too much time trying to get into their minds because it's sick. Anyways, it was just a weird that this was rolled out. It's like, are you trying to send a message here or something? First, it was just 7 of 36 counties that they required face masks. And then they said something about they make up about 55% of the state's population. 55 is Satan unreduced. So it's like, is that the reason that you chose to only do 7? Because they like the number 7 and they like 55? And sometimes I think, yeah, like that's all the logic behind it. Oh, we're going to pick this because we like the numbers involved with that. It's like totally arbitrary. Later, Brown said she was adding a single one, Clatsop County, which is a CC 33. So it's just like so much of what they do is nonsense. It's just flexing their ability to cast spells and make people do what they want to do, and number coding, gematria. I thought here is kind of a little, no corner of the state will be exempt. And we know that the Bible talks about the corners of the earth. Brown said she must take further action based on modeling. Oh, where's your model? They're not just going to go and show you their model. And even if they do, the figures, like, you can't believe any of their numbers. That's where the comedy show, Whose Line Is It Anyways? You know how they're always talking about the points are made up and they don't matter? That's making fun of how real life works. That's how real life works. They totally make up all the numbers out of thin air, so it doesn't even matter. Even if they have a model, you can't believe the numbers that they use to base their model off of, because they're going to reverse engineer everything to say whatever they want. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. This is kind of just a strange truth that if you've ever seriously researched anything, you'll kind of realize this, that they might paint something out to be really, really scary. But the more you dive in and the more you look into things, you'll find out that the number of deaths is actually really, really small. That's just one instance, really vague, giving you an idea of how sometimes that happens. And sometimes it's like they don't even try to hide it. Like, I thought this is supposed to, if this is a pandemic that is shutting down the whole earth, then what is going on with this? Where I think this is the daily number of deaths. I mean, it's way under here. Like, what? So I didn't even have to dig deep at all. This was given in this article, but nobody's dying, though. Even if we believe what they're saying, nobody's dying. And yet, look at how everybody reacts. And that's the magic. The magic, do you know how funny they think that this is? That they can clearly make people freak out, and they can change the way that everybody's acting, and they can show them to their face, look, nobody's dying. It's the cold. Anyways, there. So I guess I just want to end on this because it's kind of a serious note. To me, this just shows that they're 100% ready. I think that they just wanted to show that they're 100% ready to introduce the mark of the beast. People out there, they're bloodthirsty, and yeah, I mean, this mask thing shows it. I guess that's why I felt compelled to make a video on this mask thing, because of this connection to the mark of the beast, and public opinion is already there, that they're ready to beat people up for not following what they say. All they have to say is, we want you to do this, you have to do this because the scientists say so. And if anyone goes against that, mob mentality is out to get you. So I think they're ready to introduce the mark of the beast at any time. They can look at what they've got to happen over nothing. Much ado about nothing. If they can get people to react like this about nothing, then they'll definitely be able to implement the mark of the beast when something real happens. Further, if we are to coexist alongside the disease, wide adoption of public face coverings is an essential factor in keeping our business and public spaces open. Just nothing about this makes any sense. What, is this just here forever now? Like 5 years, are we still just... What a strange disease, right? I've never known a disease that works like this, that it's just gonna all year round type thing. It's so ludicrous too. It's the middle of summer, and we know that the coronavirus, it causes the common cold. And so, I mean, not getting into the novel, like a work of fiction. Not talking about the novel one. It's just a known thing that coronaviruses cause the common cold. So why is everybody doing these mask things in the middle of summer? It's just more mocking. It's just ludicrous. Requirements to wear masks, whether they come from government, whether they come from some obvious transformer just ordering something, or individual businesses, have infuriated a portion of the American public who believe it infringes on their individual rights. This was the only sentence, the only little blurb they gave about the other side. And yeah, you're supposed to always give both sides of an argument, and you're supposed to research both sides of an argument with pure intentions. You know how this is just one of the things that they teach you in school that's actually true. If you're researching something, you really should be you should be going in with an open mind, and you should be researching both sides equally and giving them the best argument that you can. And you just never see that. This is all they gave about the other side. Oh, some people are infuriated, and they try to make it like it's just this emotional reaction. Just look at how bad. Nobody researches things in good faith. Practically nobody researches things in good faith. They already have their opinion before they start to write their article. But scientists say, the scientists said, guys. But scientists say the measures are necessary to protect society as a whole during an unprecedented and out-of-control pandemic. I don't know, when you guys look around, do you see, when you turn off your TV and you just use your eyes, and you use the people that you know in your life, do you see an unprecedented and out-of-control pandemic?